so much for your fight. Thank you so much for stopping the bulldozing of Fremont. Thank you for your efforts. My name is Kia Walton. I am your co-MC for today. I am a proud, humble teacher at Elmhurst Community Prep. So grateful to be standing on the lines with you, picketing with you, standing for our kids and our communities. We just heard from Joy about how we say no to billionaires, and we're going to hear from an amazing speaker, Manny Lopez, who is an educator who fought the co-location of a charter school and is currently teaching at Global Family Elementary School. Please give a warm welcome to one of our fighters on the ground, Manny Lopez.
Y'all look beautiful! Are you fired up or what? I cannot hear you! One more time! As many of you know, this is no ordinary park right here. This is DeFremery Park. This is the DeFremery Park. Site of numerous rallies of the Black Panther Party. Sickle cell anemia screenings. Food distribution. Militant action. Is that what I'm talking about? Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Against these people, I ain't going away. I've been taking them on locally, statewide, nationally. It's fun taking these people on. Folks, this is a manufactured crisis. The same kind of crisis that radicalized me under No Child Left Behind. That ridiculous law that emboldened me, that brought me to the NEA, that brought me to the CTA, that brought me into any arena where there was a fight. Because where's the fight? I'm there. This is a $1 trillion industry, education. Public education is a $1 trillion industry. When the privatizers and profiteers and philanthropreneurs see our schools, they don't see children. They see dollar signs. These are money-making opportunities. Let's don't make no mistake about that. You know, when they come knocking at Oakland's doors, they're welcomed warmly by the organization GoPublic Fools, or schools. Fools. Who, you know, they show them around the district. They go to the school sites and they say, this is a good one right here, this is vulnerable. We gotta go in there, move in there, and hit these people up. That's what they do. And, well, this is Oakland. This ain't no ordinary town here. You know? I want you to know, folks, the whole world is watching us. The whole world, not just the country. The whole world. See? Yeah. When you're a part of OEA, you're a part of CTA. And when you're a part of CTA, you're a part of NEA. And at 3.3 million members strong, we are bad! Many of you may not have heard of the organization Education International. Well, we are a part of Education International. 34 million members around the world fighting for the very things that we're fighting here right now. Are we gonna just... One minute. Oh, yeah. Are we gonna let the world down? My friend's ward has been declared. Are you down for the fight? Yeah, folks, are we gonna let our babies down? No. Babies, are we gonna let our grannies down? No. Are we gonna let the abuelitos down? No. Are we gonna let our tios and tias down? No. Of course not. This is Oakland. So, you know, I got something for you, Mr. Bloomberg. You see, we're in it for the long haul. Mr. Road, it's getting hot in here. Mr. Hastings, Netflix, Mr. Hastings, no more Mr. Nice Guys. The gloves are off. That's right, we could get street in here. We're gonna chase these billionaires all the way to Wall Street if we have to. And leave them there. Because this is a fight. And when we fight to win. Can you tell me that? When we fight. When we fight. When we fight. Thank you very much.
OEA! Educators! I have so much love for you. And today is a historic moment. Yesterday was a historic moment where across the city of Oakland at 86 school sites, we shut down the Oakland Unified School District. 5,000 teachers, parents, students on the picket lines demanding a quality education for our students in Oakland. Yes, so many things happened yesterday in a historic day in Oakland. As we know, there's no class without classified. We had our classified sisters and brothers join us on the picket lines. SEIU 10-1 here representing strong for a quality education for all students in Oakland. That was historic. And yesterday at Oscar Grant Plaza, did you feel the love? Did you feel the energy? Did you feel the power? In a moment of joy yesterday, thousands of teachers together demanding that we fully fund our schools in Oakland and demanding that we have essential services for our students, such as psychologists, librarians, nurses, counselors, all services our students deserve. A living wage for our educators to stay in Oakland. Smaller class size, keeping our neighborhood schools open. And also, in a historic day, we had charter school educators walk out of their school and join OEA picket lines. Camp Choice was at Roots today on the picket line. We are committed to keeping our neighborhood public schools open and fully funded. We are here, DeFremery Park. This is the home of the Black Panthers. Right here in this park, a movement was created for community schools. That what the Panthers fought for was free breakfast and lunch for our students in Oakland. Free clinic so that Oakland students can have access to health. What the movement that the Black Panthers started here was a movement driven by the people for community schools. What we're fighting for are public schools fully funded with necessary services for our students. That's what the people want. That's what our parents want. That's what our students want. That's what OEA educators want. Quality public education, fully funded. That's the agenda of the people. We have another agenda of the billionaires and privatizers. Those billionaires and privatizers that fund GoPublic schools, that fund school board members who support an agenda opposite of the people, opposite of community schools, an agenda of school closures, an agenda of defunding our schools. So we stand here united together for our students. And I'm proud to be here today. And also I want to acknowledge that yesterday ILWU passed resolutions. We had Local 34 that passed resolution to support the Oakland Education Association and support our demands and support our picket lines. ILWU Local 10, and they're in the House with overwhelming support, supports a quality public education and stands with us in our fight against the privatization of our public schools. So, as a product of the Oakland Public Schools, I am standing here proud with the OEA members. This morning, I felt so much joy being on the picket lines at the Havens Court campus where I began my teaching career. All over East Oakland, I seen picket lines strong. Because of our strong picket lines, our bargaining team is meeting with the district right now, and they have a mandate from our members, a mandate from the community, a mandate from parents and students to be at that table and bring back a quality education for all students, to bring us back a living wage to keep teachers in Oakland. We stand strong, and if we do not get back anything that ends the teacher retention crisis, we will be back Monday on the picket lines strong. We will have strong picket lines in the city of Oakland because this is a joyous fight. It is a righteous fight. It is a fight for the heart and soul of public education. We are the ones with an agenda to put students at the center. Now, before I end, at the end of this event, we will have a march. We will have a march to Go Public Schools. We will march to Go Public Schools and show them that we stand with the people. We stand with the students. Thank you.
Seymour.
And you're a member of ILW Local 10?
Yes, 9827. Yes, I am.
And why are you here today?
To support the teachers who take care of our kids. Who's the future? Who's the future? I feel that they should get paid proper wages, and I also feel that the class sizes should be, reasonable, and several other factors.
So this is a working class issue.
Of course, of course. Of course.
And a lot of these school closures are talking about been in the community, in the flatlands, among your members?
Yes, yes, our community.
There used to be a public school right here, Ralph Bunch Jr., because I met Dr. Bunch when I was a kid and grew up here and stuff. It was real comfortable and stuff. Then it changed the environment and stuff. We used to be in the park and do everything, and it's real comfortable. And now, now I got old and retired, and so, I'm happy to still be here.
Well, now there's gentrification, they're kicking people out of their communities. How is that affecting people here in West Oakland?
It's tough. It's tough.
What do you think the union should do about it? Is it time for a general strike? I mean, it seems like
I think it's an overall problem. It's not just
a social crisis.
Yes, it's a social crisis. Because at one point in time, like Chris and I was talking when we were younger, the community we watched out for each other a little bit more. And with the change of the community now, it's a lot more segregation. It's a lot more changes. I mentioned to Chris earlier some of the things that's going on now, we were literally growing up here in the 70s and in the 80s, we were get penalized for it. We would get punished for it. For example, riding our skateboards on the sidewalk, we would get incarcerated for or locked up. Now they put skate parks in here. At one point in time, if you turn that camera towards DeFremery, right in that area, they had a tennis court and they had an area for BMX's bikes to ride. Majority of us, we rode bikes. We didn't ride skateboards and things like that. So they took the BMX figure eight out, and I'm not mad at the skate park though, but things have changed, little things like that.
I mean, the working people now trying to survive in the Bay Area with rents and speculation and
ridiculous.
I mean, commuting, longshoremen have to commute now just to get to work.
Absolutely.
Talk about
work hard, but that's the reason the teachers are here.
It's got better,
Let's do attempt. Let's try to attempt to get them some prevailing wages so that they can survive in this high economy in which we live in. Government that could afford schools all the way across the board. I just mentioned to Chris, instead of focusing on a border wall, we should be giving the kids the money. Bam. Blessings.
They got money for walls, but not for schools.
No walls. Give it to the kids. Blessings.
How long have you been a longshoreman?
20 years.
You like it?
Oh man, it's one of the best jobs, the best job in the world. All right.
We're in the front row. Yeah.
Rocha. I'm with the Communication Workers of America.
And you're here today at a teachers rally. What brings you to this teachers rally, this march in front of GoPublic schools here in Oakland?
Well, first and foremost, solidarity forever, an injury to one's an injury to all. I believe, strongly in those principles, and this is a fight for the working class because the public education system is the means by which working people for decades, if not over 100 years, have been able to learn more about the world that we are working and toil in, and so they're under attack. And the site here is really important because they're protesting in front of the charter schools here in Oakland that are sucking a lot of the resources out of the public school system. And I'm also here personally because I have a couple of adult children that are teachers, and they struggle in their schools.
Trying to survive as a teacher is very difficult today in Bay Area. Social crisis.
Well, the resources aren't there. It's been a struggle since Prop 13. I'm old enough to remember what the public school system in California.
It used to be the greatest in the world.
It was a lot better than it is. It wasn't as the challenge, and I believe that purposely, though, that incident is what triggered the funding battles we have today.
And privatization, charters, outsourcing, is that an issue for all working people?
Definitely, and the reason is because public schools don't discriminate. They take all children. There's special need children. There's children that the English is in their primary language. There's children, many that have learning disabilities, the other challenges that the public school is tasked with teaching all of them, turning none of them away, and the charter schools cherry pick and take only ones that can meet their criteria, and so that's totally unfair just of itself.
Now in California, you have a $13 billion budget surplus. Democratic governor, Gavin Newsom. You have a Democratic legislature with a supermajority. Why aren't they increasing funding? We're 43rd in the country.
Well, those are just stopgap funding measures. Fundamentally, what they need to do is tax the rich, the wealthy, the corporations, and that's what Prop 13 did. They not only the residential property values, but commercial property values were taken out of the funding stream, at least the fair valuations of it. And so, but they need to look at all sources, but look at a permanent, long-term solution for this, because you can't just nickel and dime property values raising. That's a Band-Aid. We need to go after the rich, the wealthy, those in this society that can very well fund these schools and fund them well.
170 billionaires in California.
Oh yeah, hey, just
Seems like they're growing pretty rapidly. You know, Uber is going to have an IPO. I mean, more billionaires. But there's no money for kids in the schools.
My dad always said they can't take it with them. They can't even leave it with all their family members. And so, you know what? Leave it for the community, to invest in the community. That's the right thing to do. And whether they want to or not, that's what the people need to force them to do.
My name is Mikhail Navarro-Lopez. I just moved here from Philadelphia, and I worked in the school district of Philadelphia. In 2013, the school district closed 24 schools. The year before, it closed 7. And there haven't really been closures since then, but the city's really, really struggled with that. A lot of the buildings are still vacant. Some have been turned into charters, and it's really sad for all of those communities.
See that happening here in Oakland with the rate of charters in new charters?
Oh my goodness, I'm really scared for that proposal that's on the table here. I hope it doesn't happen, because that's a much bigger percentage of the schools here. But
well, the union, Philadelphia Federation of Teachers, said that the best thing was to organize them. What's your thought about that?
There's some very bad charter funding laws in Pennsylvania. They really prioritize funding the charter schools before the traditional public schools are funded. So basically, if a student travels from a charter school and is disenrolled there and goes back to their neighborhood public school, the funding does not follow. So it's really a big problem all around.
Do you think public money should be going to privately run schools?
No, I don't think so. I think that charters have a place, but certainly not in the numbers and the way they're being structured and operated today.
Education Workers of America supporting our brothers and sisters in the teachers union. This is baloney. I'm dressed up as spoiled milk because this contract stinks. Take care of our teachers because they're teaching our future. CWA stands strong.
They say they don't have enough money. You think that's baloney?
You know what it is, a bunch of baloney. You know it's a whole bunch of spoiled milk as well. We're gonna stand with the teachers until they get a fair contract. I'm from the Oakland schools public school system, and I believe back all the way 55 years ago, they should have been taking care of their teachers. And to this point, this is what it comes to. I stand strong, CWA stands strong with the Oakland teachers.
Okay, thank you. What's your name?
This is the great Scott, Oakland, California, CWA 9415.
Okay, great.
I'm Bread for Ed. I'm a sandwich. I'm helping support teachers. You can donate to me donorbox.org/breadfored. I stand in solidarity with my spoiled milk brothers. We're on the line. We're supporting Oakland teachers against privatization for a living wage. You know, teachers should live in Oakland. That's
Why do you have to beg bread for Ed? I mean, isn't there a lot of money in California? Rich state, you know, billionaires, 170 billionaires. You see that as a problem?
Yeah, I mean, California is the 5th largest economy in the world.
Yes, I'm a charter school teacher.
You're supporting this struggle here of OEA?
Yeah, we have a similar struggle. We're trying to unionize, and we've been bargaining now for several months. And
what does the management say? They're opposed to unionization?
No, we got our union going, but right now we've just been bargaining for a raise, bargaining for smaller class sizes, all the similar things, but we have no union power because our union is only one school strong.
What's your union?
I'd rather not say because I don't think I should put my school name out there.
CTA?
No, we are under CTA, under their umbrella, but we're an independent union.
But do you have a concern that what's happening is you're getting a two-tier situation of some teachers in public schools and then teachers in
absolutely, and there's a lot of hostility, and that's why I'm here, because I just want people to understand we're fighting the same fight.
You're doing the same work.
We are doing the same work, and I think we should be in the same union. We shouldn't have separate unions. That's just dividing and conquering.
And management likes that.
Yeah, a lot more of us need to be out here on the front lines bridging the gap. I mean, even during the rally, there was like a guy screaming at me in my ear the whole time, "Charters, get out of here." It was very hostile. So I just want people to see, you know, we are in solidarity. Teachers should not be attacking teachers.
Well, they're trying to pit the charter schools against the public schools.
Exactly.
And what do you think about that?
Exactly. And really, it's just mismanagement of funds. Whether it be mismanagement of funds at the district level, mismanagement of funds at the corporate level, it's mismanagement of funds. There is money, it's just not being spent appropriately.
What's your name?
I'm Nicole.
We don't get it. We don't get I'm Jack Heyman, retired Local 10 longshoreman. We're standing here near the port of Oakland, protesting at, I think, GoPublic, a privatizing school agency.
And there's a lot of money in Oakland, a lot of wealth in California. Why are the teachers suffering like they are? I mean, they can't live here in Oakland anymore?
Well, one of the reasons is that the school board is complaining that they're in financial difficulties. They don't have the money to fund wage increases. That's why they're closing schools. And this is really dishonest, because if you look right over here, we have ships in the port. All this cargo coming across the docks is not taxed. Whereas in Long Beach and Los Angeles, together those two major ports tax the cargo coming across the port to the tune of $10.7 billion. The Port of Oakland doesn't tax at all for this cargo.
Isn't this a labor-controlled city? I mean, you got a Democratic mayor and Democratic people appointed to the Port of Oakland?
Well, the Democratic Party is a friend of labor only at election time. They want the votes of the working class, but they really don't represent the working class. What we need in this country right now especially is a workers' party, a party that's based on the trade unions, that's funded and represents the interests of the working class. We need to bring out all of the unions to support the teachers. This is a big fight for public education against these charter schools, and it's going to require the longshore workers in the port, the BART workers that run transit, the AC bus drivers. We all need to go out with the teachers to win this one.
Are you talking about a general strike?
Well, it could lead to something like that, but you know, it's about time that the working class get back up on its feet, because it's been sleeping for too long. We've got a leadership that's complacent throughout the organized labor movement. And
well, none of the speakers today at the rally today and rally yesterday talked about California has a budget surplus of $13 billion. They have a supermajority in the legislature. They have a Democratic governor. They could have an oil depletion tax. They could tax the billionaires. They don't even have to have another ballot initiative. They could do it unilaterally.
Yeah, they could. It's not just the Democratic governor. The legislature, this is a blue state. And the Democrats could do that very easily. I think what's going to happen here, and I hope I'm wrong, but there's a lot of pressure on the OEA union officials to settle this contract quickly. We're going into the weekend, and I hope I'm wrong, but they need to stay out until they get what they went out on strike for, and not capitulate to pressure from the Democratic Party and from the AFL-CIO bureaucracy, particularly the CTA.
And the charters are growing, and the CTA is saying that the main issue is transparency, passing bills to make charters more transparent. What do you think about the strategy of the CTA and the AFT that they want to make the charters more transparent and comply with the laws?
I think they need to call for abolishing the charter system altogether, and fight for public education for all. That's where the fight needs to be. And it's going to take all of labor to get behind the Oakland teachers here. And you know, the Port of Oakland has a long history of taking solidarity actions with other unions and against police brutality.
Against war?
Against the war. We shut down all the ports.
We have a lot of money for war. That's the Democrats vote for more money for war. Billions, 108, 700 billion.
Yeah, I mean, the Democrats are just as bad, if not worse, at starting wars than the Republicans. But the point here is that the trade union movement needs to come together and take coordinated action, whether it's a general strike, which we haven't had in this city since 1948.
46.
Yeah.
That was the last general strike in the United States.
In my opinion, we could shut the city down tight with the transport unions, with the longshore, BART workers, and the AC transit, and the teachers would win their demand. But I don't see that happening right now. They need to reach out to the unions for solidarity actions.
My name's Olivia Udovic. I'm a kindergarten teacher at Manzanita Seed and Oakland Public Schools parent of just two students. And it means that We're here at GoPublic Schools today because they have co-opted the name, the word public, and are trying to pretend that charter schools are public schools. They are publicly funded schools that have no accountability and are have private school boards that are not elected. And they don't have to take special ed students. They don't have to take English language learners. They can kick students out. That's not a public school. I've been a public teacher for many, many years, and I would be ashamed to have anything to do with that.
Do you think the charter law should be repealed in California that allow public?
Definitely.
Because you don't believe that public money should be going to privately run schools?
Oakland Public Schools lose $57 million every year to charter schools. That would pay for us to have 18 students in our class, double the number of counselors and nurses, and still have $10 million left over.
That would take care of the financial.
That would take care of the financial problems, and that would take care of, that would improve our schools tremendously.
And what about the Democrats? The Democrat Governor Newsom, you have a $13 million budget surplus. You have a supermajority in the legislature, assembly, and Senate. Couldn't they pass laws to really refund education?
Well, I hope the Democrats were listening today, because I think that they've been on the wrong side of this issue as well, just like the Republicans. So I hope the Democrats were listening today, that the people of California have awoken to the fraud that charter schools really are, and that we're not going to elect Democrats that don't stand on the right side of this issue.
So you're saying enough is enough?
Enough is enough, yes.
Hey, money. Hey, I'm pretty slap these on the door. Fuck that. We're done at the destination. We're just starting to march out. Yeah, it was like one year, like in good angle. Sounds good. We'll see you in a little bit.
Amazing.
All right, peace, man.
What are they doing here?
What are these kids doing here? They're out here protesting for the same thing we are.
We're putting dollar bills on the wall and telling them, like, why do they do certain stuff, like get paid more money than other people, and why do they want to close down public schools and not charter and private schools?
So it's unfair.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of money for themselves, but not
Yes,
for all
yeah.
others.
They're very greedy.
Is that true in your school?
Yes.
What's happening in your school?
People. The teachers are going on strike because they're not getting paid enough money.
Yeah.
So
What's your name?
my name is Brian. Yeah, and there's a lot of unfair stuff for teachers and not equalities. And all schools should be equalities and have the same number, and have short classes and more help. And I think if we stand everybody, we will make it. Yeah.
Better schools for everyone.
Because what they're doing is bad for the teachers, and they don't get paid well, and the rent is too hard. And yeah.
I think
What's your name?
My name is Marjorie. I'm from East Oakland Pride Elementary School. I'm a 4th grader, and I think what the district and the other people are doing is bad for us, because we have to learn, and some teachers spend their time on us, and they don't do their things for us, and I don't really think that this is good for us.
My name is Isabella. I'm from East Oakland Pride, and I'm a 5th grader, and I agree with the strike a lot, because I feel like this is better for our community, and because without the teachers and everyone in this community, we wouldn't be able to learn anything.
My name is Kalia, and I agree with the strike, because the teachers are not getting paid a lot of money, and I think that's not fair, because they teach other people that become who they are today.
like doctors and stuff. I think they should get paid like doctors and lawyers because they like a doctor, like if they say like who teach you, a teacher, and then like how did you get here this day? I just think that they should get paid like a lot of money.
It's not fair.
Yeah, and especially in Oakland, I don't know why all teachers don't get paid fairly. That's kind of.
And these bills, what's this?
It's telling the people like, why do you want to take away public schools? They're like the same as any other school.
My name's Amir Thomas, and the reason I'm doing this is because that all teachers need money, and that we have the teachers. Every teacher is great, and that everything that the teachers do for us, it comes. We try to give it back, but we can't. So we're trying to do what we can and
support your teacher.
Yeah.
Thank you. What school are you from?
Roosevelt.
You have a problem with supplies and equipment at your school?
Well, no, we are okay, but we're okay, but we can have more supplies.
Elementary school, we